This is a free call from
Hey, it's Gypsy.
an offender at the Chillicothe Correctional Center.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Okay, would you mind repeating the question, please?
Sure. So what's your knowledge and experience of romance other than the Entangled movie in Disney and other types of Disney movies?
If I would have told you, if you would have asked that question, when I was going through possible pretrial court appearances and things like that, I would have said that would be Nick and then the Disney movies, and that's all I know about romance. Asking me now, I've dated while I've been in prison. I've been engaged before. I'm married now. I had my heart broken a couple of times. It made me definitely understand that Disney movies do not portray real life at all.
No, I honor that, but I have to say you lived in a horrifically traumatic bubble with your mother, and then you're in a hardcore prison institution that's also a bubble in a sense, and you've had your relationships only in these environments.
It is, yes. It's hard, not having that physical contact with someone other than a 4-hour visitation where we're allowed one little pet and a hug. It's hard to have a relationship and kind of learn what relationships are like whenever I'm still having a limited form of it.
Did you know that Nick had a charge of masturbating to pornography and McDonald's, and that he had a history of autism when you were with him?
I did. I think we were still talking. Like, we were together whenever he had got arrested for that. Because he would always go to not Walmart. When I say Walmart, McDonald's, to go and use their Wi-Fi, their free Wi-Fi. Did I know he was masturbating? No, I did not.
And your relationship with Nick, was it mostly like an online role play, or?
It was. He talked a lot about, and I talked a lot about fantasy things. The majority of the stuff he would come up with was him and his ideas of his fantasies. So he would always tell me stories of, like, his evil twin brother and things like this. So, and I remember asking him, can we just, talk about some normal stuff for a change?
Sure. Now, with some of this, have sexual components to it, such as S&M or BDSM or dominant submissive sexual role play?
It did. He was very sexualized and craved it, talked about it nonstop. I had never even heard of BDSM before I met him. And he told me a little bit about it. He's like, would you be interested in doing something like this? Like, my soulmate would be interested in these kinds of things and pleasing me and doing everything I say. And that time, I just wanted him to love me. I just wanted him to stay and never leave me. And so I told him that I would be interested in it. I agreed to something that I had no idea what I was even agreeing to.
Now, give me 1 second here. Did you guys perform sexual acts online or in a televideo sense?
He would ask for these videos from me, and yes, I would be masturbating. He would have a whole list of things for me to do during these videos. I think the most memorable one would have to be the one where I had to put all kinds of barbecue sauce and ketchup and mayo, all over my body. That was one video that sticks out in my head that he had specifically asked for.
Was this exciting for you and so novel and new, given the fact that you were so stifled and controlled and smothered by your mother?
At first, it seemed a little weird. It was very out of my element. But then it was exciting because I was opening a door to something I had never experienced before, something that I was being held back from. And it was new, it was different, and it was kind of foreign. So, and it made me feel empowered.
Okay, empowered. And along those lines, I had learned that you grew up perceiving that women should be submissive and men were dominant. Is that true?
That is true. Those were my mom's values too. My mom, had traditional values where it's like, well, the wife cooks and cleans and looks after the kids, and the husband makes money and takes care of the family.
Well, in Nick's confession, he said that you asked him to kill your mother, Dee Dee. Is that true?
It is true, yes, sir. I did ask him to kill my mom.
And what are your thoughts about that, I guess, reflecting back in your mental state at the time?
I can see that I was desperate. I can understand why.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
I can understand why those kinds of thoughts entered into my head. And it's like it's not like it was the first time that I had ever thought about her just, disappearing or something bad happening to her. I thought a couple years before the murder even happened, this would have been in 2011, I had, my mom was hitting me, and I just wanted her to stop hitting me, and I wanted to run away again, so I packed my bag, and I hid a bag underneath the sofa. Well, one night she went looking for things. She randomly just went searching for something that I was hiding, like a cell phone or a laptop, and she found my bag. And she called my name, and I was in her bedroom, and I came out to her in the living room where my bag was being hidden. And she's like, "You were going to run away, weren't you?" And I was like, "Please just let me go." And she was arguing with me, and she took a step forward. Well, my mom had a BB gun that was sitting on the table, and she had been using it for practice. And I'll get to that later. But I grabbed it, and I threatened her with it. And I wasn't wanting to kill her by any means. Like, it was an idle threat. It was just to prevent her from walking any closer to me. Well, she started to walk closer to me, and before I knew it, I pulled the trigger multiple times. And the BBs hit her. One hit the wall, one hit her leg, I think one hit her neck. And I dropped the gun, and I started crying, and she seemed really shocked by it. It was just a flesh wound, but that night, I just kept pleading with her, "Please just let me go. Please just let me go." And she's like, "I can't. Like, you cannot go anywhere. Like, you belong here. This is home." And yeah, later that morning, so it happened like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And we stayed in the bed together. I was silent. I was crying. She was patching up her wounds, and it was a very awkward moment between us. But I felt in that moment, she's never going to let me go. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, she's never going to let me go. And
go ahead.
That's one incident that I'm not proud of, but it's kind of like, what am I capable of?
Well, it sounds to me like you had a death wish for your mother, and that certainly would be justifiable. Much of your life was based in fantasy, role play, and Disney. And did you question, whether your sickness was real or fake?
There was times that I questioned it, because I always knew that I could walk. That was never. I always knew that I could walk, and I knew that I could eat things by mouth. Um, they weren't. I wasn't having issues swallowing like my mom told the doctors. But there were other things that I totally believed that I thought I had. Like the seizure disorder. My mom told me, "Oh, you had a seizure last night, but you don't remember because it was so violent that they were." I guess she called it like the worst kind of seizures that people could have, like grand mal seizures or something like that.
Sure.
And so she's like, "You don't."
Did you think you were intellectually disabled?
No, I did not think that. I thought my cognitive thinking was just as capable as anybody else.
So the reality testing that you had certainly would be flawed.
This
given
call is from a correctional
this,
facility and may be monitored and recorded.
so the reality testing you would have had as a kid growing up had to be flawed given this fantasy world and the confusion as to whether you were sick, or not. But did you really think that your mother was going to be killed?
By that night with the murder?
Yes.
No, actually I didn't. I thought that she would wake up and she would fight Nick. And I thought that they would get into a struggle and I could run out of the house.
Did he then rape you?
Did what?
Did he then rape you?
After the murder, yes. Are you saying you got married while in prison? Yes, last week.
Well, congratulations. So, what is your husband's name?
My husband's name is Ryan, and he's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. So he's a Louisianian like me.
And how did you meet?
We met after he had watched one of my documentaries, and he had wrote me a letter. And the day I got the letter, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Somebody from, my home state. And most of the time, I don't write people back. Like, I get a lot of mail, and I don't write everybody back. But I was like, okay, this person is from home, pretty much. So I took a chance, and I sent him a request so he can make an account to start emailing, and we could start emailing each other. So for a good 2 months, we were emailing back and forth, and then we started having phone calls.
And what was your decision making of, really deciding to get married and commit to being with this individual?
It looks like it's about to say 1 minute again, so if you hold that thought, I'm going to call you back.
You have 1 minute left.
I will tell you.
No problem, thanks.
The caller has hung up.